everyone. After a few days of gap, I'm back again, and the question we're solving right now is set matrix zero. So in this, we are given a m cross n integer array or a matrix, and we have to perform some operations in place. So what operation is it? So suppose, for example, the question says that if any element is zero, so we have to, set its entire row and column to zero. So we have to flush the entire row and column to zero. But there's a trick here. The trick is, let's say if we see a zero, and let's say I see a zero here. What I do is I instantly switch it to zero. What happens? There will be a cascading effect. What's the cascading effect? That zeros, entire row and column will also be set to zero, and so on and so forth. This will continue. But we have to avoid that. So we have the naive approach. The very first brute force approach for this question is to have another integer matrix and then, copy this and then perform operations in a different matrix. But that will not be able to, we couldn't, this is not a constant space solution, right? So this is what we did right now, because it is probably a bad idea. It was a straightforward solution, although. So the question hints that we could use big O of m plus n space. What's that? So you have m rows and n columns. If we encounter a zero, we'll simply say that row was seen, an element in that row was seen zero. An element in that column was seen zero. So then we'll iterate to the matrix again. And then wherever we see, a row marker is zero or a column marker is zero, we'll change that. But the problem is that we want to do a constant solution, constant space. So, we are using two different arrays. So why not use first column and first row of the matrix itself? So that's what we have done here. So our first column and first row has one cell in common, which is 0, 0. So we'll have another marker called column 0 here, which is set to false. Now what we do is we iterate through the array. Now first we'll check if, let's say that row, if let's say matrix of that row, which is I, and 0 column is 0, which means that we have seen value 0 in 0th column. So we'll set 0, column 0 equal to true. So that we can zero out the column later. And then whenever we see a 0, we are going to update the markers. So what's the marker? So 0th row would be updated to 0 and 0th column would be updated to 0. So yeah, this is it. And after that, what happens? We go backwards so that we don't, update our markers before it's intended to be updated. So whenever we see a 0, what we do? In the markers, then we update that particular I row and j matrix, j column. So matrix of I, j will be set to 0. And in the end, if my column 0 is 0, so then my matrix of I0 will be 0. So yeah, this is it. So let's run and submit. So in here, we are using a constant space. We are using no other space, and the time complexity is big O of m cross n. So yeah, that was it from my end. Thank you. Bye.